Even the dry bones in the graves that are beginning to shake. They know the time has come. It's a shame that some people, even the dry bones in the graves that are beginning to shake. They know the time has come. It's a shame that some people who are still living don't understand that, especially Igbo traders in Lagos. So set to go. Ekpa is the first phase of this very deadly salvo. They will destroy your businesses. After that, they will take over your houses. When I make work for them, I want you to be writing down what I'm saying. That is why barrister will say, go and bring your pen and your paper. So that when we are speaking, you'll be seeing it live and direct.
Trust you had.
What we do here is science.
Interest.
When we tell you that if you mix 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 of oxygen, you will get H2O, which is water. We mean it. If you try it, you will see it.
Full raid persists in aviation agency over new directorates. And still on the subsidy removal, Kwara reverses to 5 working days. And then from the dismissal from APC, Koje appeals judgment files. Endorses affair is coming from national chairman. President's men on RP with share it's not about Adamu, but not. It's coming from the ex-governor. And on forgery, Mesoma makes U-turn, admits scoring 249 in JAM. And telecoms investment in Nigeria hits 56.7 trillion naira. This coming from Dapata. Then on the dollar videos, forensic analysis has exposed Ganduje. This coming from anti-graft agency. And pregnant woman dies as daughters begin strike in Nasarawa. Then over to the Punch newspaper. Principal officers, National Assembly, crisis split APC, NWC, Adamu meets Tinubu. Then telecom investment hits $75 billion. 5G subscriptions now 60,000. This is coming from NCC. And Tinubu not indicated over forfeited $460,000 Bamidele tells tribunal. And state order evacuation as federal government issues disaster warning. Neman warns of massive flood in Kano, Delta, Kebbi, Plateau, and 10 other states. Akwa Ibom, Delta states, other residents demand alternative shelters. And still on the UTME 4G, reps order fraudulent app developer risks dismissal. And Lagos killer corps dismissed for shooting generator repaired. Nigeria exports 23 billion naira. Electricity, local consumers lament outrage. And over to the Nation newspaper. On the JAM result row, why Mesoma was bowed, and 6 proofs to probe result forgery. I got an SMS that I scored 249. Stay action until probe ends. This is on page 15 and page 16. I am meant to visit Tinubu, okay, president reforms, and work stirred on 24 billion Oshogbo Iwo Ibadan Road, UTM FLNG, to build 1.5 million tons floating gas plants. That's on page 4. And discuss intensify efforts for electricity tariff hike approval. Distribution companies weighing option of gradual increase in what consumes mouth pay. And Senate Minority Leader, we build verb opportunist. Obi not Labour Party when nominated. Tinubu tells tribunal. And on Daily Sun newspaper, UTM FLNG team meets Tinubu on new gas plant, and firm to cash prices targets 1.5 million tons exports. And fireworks in Senate. Rumbles at Apabo stop Ndume's motion on correct disbursement of 500 billion naira fund. And Tinubu meets Adamu Omisore. And still on the poll, Tinubu APC closed case in Obi Atiku's PDP petitions. And still on the subsidy, NNPC to reconcile 2.1 trillion deduction with FAAC. This actually on page 25. And Wash economy, man raises the alarm. Warns more manufacturers may leave Nigeria. Blood flows in place. Ebubegu gun battle in Imo. And terrorism trial of Eze Ndibo of Ajao State. And UTME results, reps urge JAM to stay punitive action against Ejikeme. Please, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to click the like button and turn on your notification bell so as to get notified. Lola, good morning. Please let's not forget to click the like button. And if you have any comment, link, okay, so the link hasn't posted, can join me here and air your view. After Buhari Tinubu wadis into NUPRC and PDPRA altercation over overlapping functions, sets clear lines of operations pending PRA amendment. And Tinubu, Shetima, APC closed defense in Obi Atiku's petition. PDP leadership in this area fails to secure minority office in National Assembly. And J5 compromise party chief steals the show. Our other opposition parties sold out, went for the money. And on the photo there, the Regent School, Abuja wins UK Outstanding School Award. And still on the JAM results, Chidoka urges Mesoma to come clean, explain how she got fake results. And that's all on the newspaper. So on this, if you notice the headline talking about Prime Minister Semo Ekpa and IFEANYI UBAH, there's a statement IFEANYI UBAH made, and then Prime Minister have to reiterate. But I think I had issue uploading the video, so please just a second. I'll play the video. You won't be able to view it, but I'll just play it so you listen to it. Please, in a moment, kind of having challenge. Okay, please, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to click the subscription button, turn on the notification bell, and click on the like button as well. All right, I'm almost done. Then if you have any comment, you can join me here via the link. Okay.
Number one, there is seriously a problem of
Professor Mahmoud Yakubu on Tuesday announced that the Commission has commenced its post-election review and has identified 200
election was one of the most meticulously prepared for in recent times. Learning from previous experiences, we started preparations immediately after the 2019 general election, carefully ticking the necessary boxes over a 4-year period. Among the positive stories is that the security challenge with threatening to derail the elections did not materialize. Concerns that the polls will be disrupted by the perennial insecurity across the country fizzled out on election day, and the elections were largely peaceful. Our records show that the success rate of the PBAS accreditation stands at 98% compared to the smart card readers' 29.2% during the 2019 general election. Our record shows that these elections have produced the most diverse outcomes ever produced since 1999. We are presently looking at all the evidence of infractions during the election, including the prosecution of electoral offenders. We are looking at the activities of all actors involved in the election, including some of our high-ranking officials. I can also confirm that we have received 215 case files from the Nigeria police following their arrest and the conclusion of investigation into electoral offenses arising from the 2023 general election. We are working with the Nigerian Bar Association, the NBA, to prosecute the alleged offenders. Already, the Bar Association has submitted a list of 427 lawyers across the country who have volunteered to render pro bono services to the Commission. They are not charging legal fees, but by mutual agreement, the Commission will provide a token amount to cover for filing fees and other expenses. We are grateful to the Nigerian Bar Association. Similarly, we are working with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission.
Well, I guess I'll join those electoral commissioners to applaud the lawyers who have offered to, render their services pro bono. I mean, it shows the intent. It shows that, the Nigerian people are involved in this whole electoral process and they want justice. But also, the EU Observer Mission report has been, making a lot of headways across, a lot of sectors. Social media, a lot of analysts have talked about the fact that the report is so accurate. As they mentioned the fact that, trust in INEC has been severely damaged due to the, failure in uploading, especially the presidential result. The one thing I did not hear from Professor Mahmood Yakubu was what they were going to do about those technical glitches. He didn't mention the fact that, what it is, what they found. I hope that these 215 offenders, maybe they are part of those offenders who caused those technical glitches. We'll hope to find that. But let me take some, right? We'll find out if they are part of those offenders. But let me take a tweet from human rights activist Renu Odwala. She quoted the EU Observer Mission report and wrote, in many places, particularly in the South and Southeast, INEC didn't turn up at all or turned up as late as 1 p.m. This suppressed voter participation. The overall conduct of opening polls was evaluated as bad or very bad in 21 out of 50 polling units. That's the EU report. Then she further quoted another part of the report saying, by the time INEC declared the presidential results, more than 25% of result sheets were still missing on the IREV portal without no clear explanation or justification. Quoting the EU Election Observation Mission report. Dr. Abati.
Okay, one thing is this. After every election cycle, INEC reviews the process and tries to come up with lessons and a report and offer advice as to the way forward. So what Professor Mahmood Yakubu is doing is after a pattern. He did the same thing after the 2019 elections. At this particular meeting in Abuja yesterday, he was addressing resident electoral commissioners, as a prelude to that general review meeting. Now, you mentioned this European Union Observers Mission report. I think one of the things he said is that INEC, under his watch, has refused to respond to any election observers report because, one, it is better to listen, and that INEC would prefer to just listen to reactions. That two, INEC is going to do a general review. Three, INEC cannot be responding because many of the issues involved are prejudicial. After all, those matters are already before the presidential election petition tribunal. So I think he's right in that regard. After establishing that, he then went on to talk about positives. What are these positives he talked about? About how we saw a multi-party democracy alive and well in Nigeria. about how, in terms of self-assessment, he says INEC did well. That beavers are supposed to smart card reader, perform to up to about 98%. Of course, there will be persons who will not agree with that. Number three, he said that the presidential and national assembly elections were held, as scheduled. But of course, it was careful enough not to go into the details that are before the Presidential Election Tribunal, which is indeed part of the process. The tribunal will come up with its own findings. After all, that same yesterday, when he was addressing resident electoral commissioners, was when the VC was presenting his case and INEC was closing his case and all of that at the tribunal. Okay, but he then talked about challenges. I think many Nigerians will be interested in those challenges and what INEC and government and other interested bodies do about those challenges. Because those challenges, the most powerful one that we saw was that this review system that we do after every election, do we really learn any lessons? The one we did after the 2019 general election, one of the things that came up was internal democracy within political parties. We didn't see that. Another thing that came out of it was, people respecting the rule of law. People did not respect the rule of law. Another thing that came out was INEC saying that it will be very strict with its officials. INEC officials were helping people to fix, to slash ballot papers and to fill forms, condense style and manipulate results. Okay, you mentioned technical breaches. Who are those INEC officials that are involved? However, Professor Yakubu told us that the police that is responsible for arrest, investigation, has submitted 215 case files to INEC for prosecution. Now, I said earlier on this program, maybe some people didn't hear me well, they were sending me Section 145 of the Electoral 2022 deals with the trial of offenses. So, INEC, Section 145 sub 2 says INEC can prosecute. However, opinion is divided on that. Some lawyers say, no, INEC doesn't have such powers, that it's only the AGM or the police that can prosecute, because electoral offense is a criminal offense. Okay, these are some of the things we still need to also address in reviewing the electoral.
This is the second afternoon, fellows. This is the second afternoon, fellow Biafrans. This is the second day of our 1 week long historic sit at home for the demand to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and of course in preparation for our Biafra self-referendum. I am sitting at home. When they tell you Simon Ekpa is in Finland, no, I am sitting at home. This is me at home, and I will sit at home for as long as the sit at home lasts in Biafra land. Thank you very much for this historic moment that we are making in our Biafra liberation. Woto Woto, remain the code. And very, very soon, everything about Nigeria will be evicted from Biafra territory. Mark the word, evicted. These are the people who facilitate the murder of our people. These are the people who facilitate killings for our women and children. And we will no longer allow them to stay and sleep and wake up while they mastermind the killing of our women and children in Biafra land. So today is the second day of the historic sit at home, and I thank Biafra people for taking up this challenge and making this sacrifice for their future. Thank you. See you in the evening. I am sitting at home. Whenever you see that man with our phone called IFEANYI UBAH, tell him that Simon Ekpa is sitting at home. My warning is going to receive it very soon. Thank you.
Same police that a police chief was coming to defend somebody that made a very, very incendiary statement. Same police chief defending him on live TV. So is it the police that wants to help prosecute electoral offenders? Did you also see the part of the report that said the police watched on as ballot boxes were snatched? Didn't we see on live TV that day and I came and I challenged the police here? Was it in Lekki or around that area, Kati, where people were taking ballot and the police officer was just looking? And the police spokesperson said it was just one officer, I couldn't challenge them in return. Didn't we see how police officers were taking ballot boxes away in rivers? Didn't you see the video? Absolutely. So it's the same police that want to give electoral offenders to INEC to prosecute. We are joking. And why do lawyers even have to prosecute pro bono? Can't INEC put some money aside for its own litigation in its budget every year? How is he spending his own money for litigation? You see, the reason why we talk about election review and nothing happens is because personal interest is more than institutional interest. It's as simple as that. And it's not today we've been hearing about cases like this. As long as you have a personal interest that overrides institutional interest, our institutions become suspect and they're easily swayed. And that's why to defend our institutions become problematic. If we want to make elections work, the day the key stakeholders in Nigeria decide to have free and fair elections, we'll have free and fair elections. As we speak today, we have not decided. And that's why it's still about who can manipulate the system better. Right. Also, Electoral Offences Commission, I think even the first step of the review is INEC going back to the waste reports. Till date, we've been talking about Electoral Offences Commission. Since the waste report, we forget in a hurry, the waste report was 2008, 2009. And today we have not done anything. It just shows we are not ready. All right. Also, the electoral laws that we have seen many lacunas. We have started this 10th National Assembly. How are they going to review those laws? Are they going to do it? We are not ready. This was the same INEC law that President Muhammadu Buhari chose not to sign before he finally signed it after he had won elections in 2019. Another question we would like to ask INEC. Yes, the BVAS system worked. There was better accreditation and all of that. But will INEC also tell us where they keep the data that they had to wipe out the BVAS accreditations when they wanted to do the governorship election? All right. Because there are many questions we should ask in this review. And if INEC is not ready to forensically analyze what constituted the technical glitch they've not given us a report for, I don't think the review has started. So we know how to make Nigeria work. But today, because it still favors a lot of us, continue in our ways. But I know this country will do well. It will rise up and it will achieve its full potential one day. But today, the key stakeholders are not ready.
Well, all right. We'll take another story. The insecurity in the Southeast and the Monday sit-at-home order imposed by a group of Biafra agitators has taken a different dimension. The governor of Enugu State, Peter Mba, last month banned the sit-at-home order in his state and has ordered all public servants and political office holders to begin reporting to their places of work on Mondays or face sanctions. In Anambra State, Senator IFEANYI UBAH, who represents Anambra South in the Senate, has also expressed his concerns regarding the sit-at-home. Well, in the trending video, the senator emphasized the need to put an end to the practice and cautioned Simon Ekpa, a self-proclaimed prime minister of Biafra land, who lives in Finland and has been agitating for the sit-at-home, to observe his sit-at-home order in his village. Home order in his village.
For any one of you to mention this at home again, you must come down to Nigeria. You must tell people where their industry, where their office is in Southeast, that is observing this at home. Yes. You will start standing this at home. You will start pushing this at home for everybody. Before you continue to mention other branches and name, you have their affairs in the body there. Their states, they states. And you have never ever one day mentioned their state anybody. And when don't observe it at home. You are in Finland contesting for councillorship or whatever. You go to their job on Mondays. Or you want to ridicule us. You want to divide people because you have communication gadgets, you have internet to run propaganda.
IFEANYI UBAH spoke very well, and his advocacy is quite apt. There's been a back and forth between the two. I believe Simon Ekpa has responded on social media, but I think it is so important to highlight the story because a lot of Southeasterners are dying. They're not only just dying physically, their businesses are suffering, but also he mentioned the fact that Simon Ekpa is from Ebonyi State. There's that trending video that has come up, this on Monday. I think it was July 4th that this happened. They were shooting sporadically and threatening Igbo business owners to stop their business. This is uncalled for and it needs to stop. We urge the security forces right now to, forge ahead in the Southeast to stop these criminals. They are criminals. Yeah. You know that the indigenous people of Biafra has distanced themselves from this whole mess. They started this sit at home when Nnamdi Kanu was put in, in jail or detention. But, they called it off and they've just said, you should sit at home only when he appears in court. So these people are criminals because even Nnamdi Kanu has also said that the sit at home should stop.
Yes. And thank you very much for highlighting this story because I think that it's time for the people in the Southeast to rise up.
Yes.
One man in Finland, as Senator Ubah has described, cannot hold the people to ransom in terms of their economic livelihood. Every Monday, and for many people who are from that region, complain about it. You hardly find someone who is in that region who likes the sit-at-home order because people are losing money. People are losing money, their livelihoods are affected, and one man sits, as Senator Ubah describes, in front of his nice equipment, and he's giving orders that do not affect him. The orders don't affect him because he's cushioned in Finland, enjoying a system that works in a secure environment. In Anambra State, when he asked for the 1 week sit at home, they defied the order. The governors have woken up, the newly elected governors have said, we can't continue to have one man hold the people to ransom in the Southeast. And I'm glad that not only did the Anambra residents refuse to sit at home, people like Senator Ubah are now being vocal about this. This is what should have happened a while ago. Absolutely. They ought to have been vocal about it. They ought to have stood up against what is oppression and asked the people to go about their daily livelihood. You can protest, but you cannot cut off your nose to spite your face. You cannot stop the people from earning and making a life for themselves because you're protesting. It's double jeopardy. So you're affecting the people whom you claim to represent by standing up for a cause. Absolutely deplorable. I'm glad they're speaking up. And I think further, and this is a question we keep asking, when we have conversations around the security chiefs, something has to be done. We can't have people afraid or their shops bungled or they are threatened or even killed because they decide to defy the order. If I don't want to stand with a particular campaign or a particular response or protest, then I should have that right to choose. Absolutely. Not giving people a choice in itself is criminal.
Absolutely. Dr. Abati.
Number one, there is seriously a problem of insecurity in the Southeast.
Absolutely.
That has been there and that has continued. One of the things that this day newspaper in that story, looking at 30 days of Tinubu, 30 challenges, 30 appointments, one of the things that report, which I commended here, I indicated was insecurity in the Southeast and other parts of the country. Now, in the Southeast, IPOP says it's not involved in a sit-at-home.
Yes.
And IPOP through Emma Powerful has issued statements.
Several statements.
So who are those people? Yesterday, as you said, attacking people and threatening to kill. So the national security system has its job cut out for it.
Absolutely.
That's number one. Number two, that Ebonyi tape, they kept saying there will be no peace. People will be killed if Nnamdi Kanu is not released. One of the things this day newspaper identified as challenges that the Tinubu administration would have to address is the issue of Nnamdi Kanu.
So here's the doubt.
Administration would have to address is the issue of Nnamdi Kanu as part of peace building process in the Southeast. President Tinubu has to personally take a look, at that particular matter. And then number 3, of course, is a point about IFEANYI UBAH, senator representing Inewi North from Anambra South.
Yes.
Challenging Simon Ekpa. There is another video that showed him and other people patrolling the streets of Anambra State yesterday. Well, the urgency of this matter is now, so that we don't have a blowout in the Southeast. When there is peace in the Southeast, there will be development.
Absolutely.
Governor of Anambra State, Governor Soludo, has been saying people should come home and invest. People should come home and invest and stop investing outside their own territory. How will people come home if there's so much insecurity?
Well said.
Imagine the cost of people sitting at home on Mondays. Nobody has calculated it. It's a lot, both at the personal level and also at the economic level.
Well said, Dr. Abati.
Let peace reign in the Southeast. Let's say no to this Monday sit at home. Absolutely. It's destroying the people they claim they are fighting for.
Absolutely.
And please, Simon Ekpa, watch it. You're causing a lot of chaos here, and you're living in the freedom of democracy in Finland. Have a conscience. Check your own conscience.
Well said.
Nobody is saying that the marginalization protest is not valid. But you are causing rancor because a nation like Finland has a system working. Absolutely. And you are destroying your own homeland.
Right.
Have a conscience, Simon Ekpa. Have a conscience.
Well said, Rufai. We'll take our final story.
He don't boast. Ekpa have a conscience. He don't boast. Who's supposed to get conscience for this state, I beg? Please, someone should come up here and make your comment. Who's supposed to get conscience for this state in this country? Well, anyways, let's see the response of Prime Minister.
This is the second, fellow Biafrans, this is the second day of our 1 week long historic sit at home for the demand to release Nnamdi Kanu, and of course, in preparation for our Biafra self-referendum. I am sitting at home. When they tell you Simon Ekpa is in Finland, no, I am sitting at home. This is me at home, and I will sit at home for as long as the sit at home lasts in Biafra land. Thank you very much for this historic moment that we are making in our Biafra liberation. Woto Woto, remain the code. And very, very soon, everything about Nigeria will be evicted from Biafra territory. Mark the word, evicted. These are the people who facilitate the murder of our people. These are the people who facilitate killings for our women and children. And we will no longer allow them to stay and sleep and wake up while they mastermind the killing of our women and children in Biafra land. So today is the second day of the historic sit at home. And I thank Biafra people for taking up this challenge and making this sacrifice for their future. Thank you. See you in the evening. I am sitting at home. Whenever you see that man with our phone called IFEANYI UBAH, tell him that Simon Ekpa is sitting at home. My warning is going to receive it very soon. Thank you.
The Nigeria Ministry of Foreign Affairs on Tuesday summoned the Finnish ambassador to Nigeria, Lena Filbaninian, over Simon Ekpa's latest remarks to obstruct the 2023 general election in southeast Nigeria. The ministry, who spoke to his representative, Suberu Dada, called on the Finnish ambassador to stop
All right,
Ekpa.
so thank you so much for staying tuned. That is the update for today. How that IFEANYI UBAH says sit at home shouldn't be aired in a state, and Simon Ekpa is also saying that he himself sits at home because there is a saying that he's actually in a state that even if he does not work, he can still earn a living. So I think the general information that is going on, or that's passing out to him, is that he should think of other way of getting this referendum rather than influencing its citizens. I think that's the major thing they're actually kicking against. That if there's any other way it can get this freedom, it should go about it rather than involving these innocent citizens who are trying to earn a living. Because if they don't work, they won't get anything. They won't be able to feed, they won't be able to get their resources. So that's the major information on this. All right, viewers, thank you all for staying tuned. Lord Larry, thank you. Ubiozuno, thank you. Emmanuel, thank you so much for staying tuned. Iubiafa, thank you for your comments, and to those who clicked on the like button, thank you so much. And if you've not done that, please don't hesitate to do that. All right, do have a lovely day. See you same time, same station tomorrow.
This is the second afternoon, fellow Biafrans. This is the second day of our 1 week long historic sit at home for the demand to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and of course in preparation for our Biafra self-referendum. I am sitting at home. When they tell you Simon Ekpa is in Finland, no, I am sitting at home. This is me at home, and I will sit at home for as long as the sit at home lasts in Biafra land. Thank you very much for this historic moment that we are making in our Biafra liberation. Woto Woto, remain the code. And very, very soon, everything about Nigeria will be evicted from Biafra territory. Mark the word, evicted. These are the people who facilitate the murder of our people. These are the people who facilitate killings for our women and children. And we will no longer allow them to stay and sleep and wake up while they mastermind the killing of our women and children in Biafra land. So today is the second day of the historic sit at home, and I thank Biafra people for taking up this challenge and making this sacrifice for their future. Thank you. See you in the evening. I am sitting at home. Whenever you see that man with our phone called IFEANYI UBAH, tell him that Simon Ekpa is sitting at home. My warning is going to receive it very soon. Thank you.